Sunshine Sterling. Willie Rain Club. It's time for 3 up, 3 down. This is the Sports Source.
And there we go. We got the 3 up, 3 down. And there's, before we get to Sunshine Sterling and Willie Raincloud, there's your final poll results. 76% of you, 3/4 of you say that this Tennessee team is underperforming on the season.
Ooh, Willie is not alone.
Shouldn't have lost to Alabama and
rain
Georgia.
clouds.
Yeah, that's right. You're not alone. That's good. All right, let's start with the Sunshine. Chuck and Sterling, 3 up from last night's game. Who are the 3 best players?
Well, we had to
or
look
coaches?
pretty hard, but one I think stood out. Wide receiver Braylon Staley, a season-high 10 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Boy, you would have liked to have seen a play like that later in the game right before halftime. But that was really a good game he had, I thought.
He is playing better. You wish he could knock out some of the – he's got youngster mistakes that he makes. You had the offensive PI call. You had the ineligible downfield call. But then he's your go-to guy. So I agree with you. He should be on the up.
Right.
Maybe the more he plays, the more he cleans up some of the
those
others.
things.
Yeah, he will, and I'm confident that he will. My up is Deshaun Bishop. The man shows up giving the rock. He's carrying the mail. Give him the rock, baby. And that run he made yesterday, awesome. Deshaun Bishop, up number 2.
279 yards rushing the last 2 weeks. He has really come on. For a guy who thought earlier in the year that Star Thomas was the one who looked more special, the way he's playing right now, Deshaun Bishop, looks like it's Dylan Sampson level from last year.
Yeah.
It's like he's becoming the bell cow who you can trust. So, Deshaun Bishop, who's your number 3 up?
Well, you kind of know it's a rough game when your third one is your punter. But Jackson Ross, all 3 punts inside the 10. We've talked about Bama's 99-yard drive. That was a punt down at the 1. So, Jackson Ross.
I think that's a good one. I think that's a very good one. All right, so Bishop, Staley, and Ross are your ups. All right, Raincloud guys, let's go to Team Vulture. Who are your 3? You had an easier night of it.
Yeah, we had a little bit easier night. This is one of those nights we had some people to pick from. Had a few more on the list that didn't quite make it, but we had our pickings here tonight. So, John, something you mentioned earlier in the year, there's these stories about bad snaps and things not happening in practice and not consistency there. Well, it hurt us once again. So our first down is Pendleton. The bad snap once again in a game like that. You just can't take your momentum and have these kinds of mistakes over and over and over again. It's been there. It's a known thing. Hasn't been able to be cleaned up in big games at this point.
Even if you get a field goal there, you're within a touchdown, which feels like a massive win.
Yeah.
But you have a chance to cut it to 3 or 6 and didn't get it done. Or 3 to 7. What's your number 2, Dad?
Number 2, I'm going to go with Coach Heupel. And that doesn't mean I want Coach Heupel fired. We've got to move on. We have to do something differently.
Yeah.
But I thought the sequence at the end of the first half just wasn't his best moment. I didn't like the way the timeout was not used. That would have gave you more opportunity. I don't think anybody in the world, as we said earlier in the show, was fooled by that run formation that you put out there. And you had, outside of Deshaun Bishop, you had your best offensive threat in Chris Brazzell off the field. So I've got to ding him for that last 40 seconds.
I would also throw in the 2-point conversion decision.
The 2-point conversion decision. There you go.
Who's the next down?
Well, I know the Sunshine team is going to think a little down about this one, but a guy that's been on their list for every game except for this game, Joey Aguilar. I just look at this game, got to step up and make some plays, but most importantly, that play at the end, you throw the ball away. You cannot miss to the inside when you have that play right there, 99 yards. That's the play of the game that you look at. If you go back and say, what spelled doom in this game? That's it right there. And so I just have to look and say, he's had a great year in a lot of good places, but unfortunately you've seen some of that production go down here lately, and so there are some signs.
And you've got to, when you're in your own end zone, you can't flick the ball 5 yards farther into the end zone and expect it to be an incomplete pass and not intentional grounding.
Right. You wonder how much of this, and this is, this, team shows you something new. I mean, there were teams this year that came out and expected Tennessee to do their same old offense. They changed their offense. Now you're midway through the season. Teams have seen this new offense. So now they're going to start making adjustments. So you wonder if that's one reason that Aguilar's production has dropped a little bit the last couple of weeks, that Brassel's production has dropped a little bit the last couple of weeks. You know, teams get a book on you. You have to show them, I got an answer for you, and then they have to write a new book, and then you prove your. So you may be in that position now where people are giving you a little something different because they know what's coming.
It also was not a good night for your offensive line pass blocking.
Correct.
So you
Yes.
got a lot more pressure than he's seen in any game this year. That was the most pressure, sacked 4 times. So that was a lot different.
And yet
in this
again,
game.
he's taken some huge hits. He
And
can't keep that up.
You
guys.
wonder about his neck
Exactly.
after last night.
The ice pack, the one at the 2.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he gets base plant. I mean, that's tough.
My thing is, you know, of course we see it.
Quarterbacks are never down.
Hey, but look, you can't be down as a quarterback because we got to rock every player on offense. I just look forward to everything being cleaned up and us playing better, which we will.
Very good. All right.
Sunshine.
That's the perfect sunshine.